Malaysia's $10 billion Melaka Gateway was set to redefine Southeast Asia's maritime and tourism landscape. But what happened to this ambitious megaproject? Today, we're diving deep into its rise, struggles, and what this failed venture teaches us about megaprojects. Announced in 2014, the Melaka Gateway project was supposed to be a crowning jewel for Malaysia's economic development. Located along the historic Strait of Malacca, one of the busiest shipping routes in the world, the gateway was strategically positioned to capitalize on global maritime trade. This wasn't just a national project, it was a statement to the world that Malaysia was ready to compete with the likes of Singapore and other major economic hubs. The plan was nothing short of extraordinary. The project included 4 artificial islands, each serving a unique purpose. Island 1 was envisioned as a cultural and lifestyle hub, featuring luxurious residences, high-end retail spaces, and attractions like a Malaysian heritage park. Island 2 would focus on commerce, housing office spaces, and shopping malls. Island 3 was planned to become a world-class cruise terminal, attracting millions of tourists every year. Finally, Island 4 was set to become an industrial and logistics hub with state-of-the-art deep-sea port. The gateway's most ambitious component was its deep-sea port, designed to handle megaships and position Malaysia as a key player in global trade. The cruise terminal was equally grand, aimed at boosting the tourism economy by accommodating some of the largest cruise liners in the world. Together, these elements promised to transform Malacca into a bustling modern metropolis. Building such a colossal project required cutting-edge engineering. The construction process began with extensive land reclamation, a technique involving the dredging and relocation of massive amounts of sand and soil to create stable land masses. Advanced geotechnical techniques were employed to ensure the islands could withstand Malaysia's tropical climate and coastal conditions. High-strength concrete and corrosion-resistant steel were used for key structures, ensuring durability against the region's natural challenges, such as monsoons and high humidity. The Melaka Gateway project was an enormous undertaking that involved thousands of workers, engineers, architects, and planners at its peak. Reports estimate that more than 5,000 people, including local and international professionals, were directly involved in the planning and initial construction phases. This workforce spanned across multiple sectors, from marine engineers working on the reclaimed islands to construction crews building infrastructure and high-end facilities. Additionally, the project enlisted the expertise of environmental consultants, financial advisors, and global investors, showcasing its ambitious scope. However, despite the vast human effort, mismanagement and delays meant that much of this labor ultimately went toward a vision that remains unfulfilled. The sheer scale of the workforce highlights the project's potential and the extent of resources dedicated to making the Melaka Gateway a reality. But as construction progressed, cracks, both literal and metaphorical, began to appear. Environmentalists were among the first to raise concerns, pointing out the ecological impact of large-scale land reclamation. The dredging process disrupted marine ecosystems, displacing fish populations and destroying coral reefs.
Pesisir pantai yang tak boleh ke tengah laut lah, dengan laut dalam. Jadi kalau jeti ni terus dibangunkan, jadi nak mencari rezeki tu dah memang agak sukar.
Coastal habitats eroded, threatening the livelihood of local fishing communities that had relied on these waters for generations. For many, the project symbolized not progress, but the loss of a way of life. Meanwhile, the political landscape in Malaysia was shifting. In 2018, a new government came to power, promising greater transparency and accountability for large-scale infrastructure projects. The Melaka Gateway, with its hefty price tag and allegations of mismanagement, came under scrutiny. The state government terminated its agreement with the primary developer, KAJ Development, citing a failure to meet key contractual obligations. Construction came to a halt, leaving the islands in various states of incompletion. The economic implications of the project's collapse were enormous. The gateway was expected to generate billions in annual revenue, create over 45,000 jobs, and significantly boost Malaysia's GDP. The deep-sea port and cruise terminal alone were projected to handle millions of tons of cargo and millions of tourists every year. Instead, investors faced massive financial losses, and the local economy missed out on opportunities for growth. One of the most striking elements of the Melaka Gateway's failure was its dependence on foreign investment, particularly from Chinese firms. Aligned with China's Belt and Road Initiative, these companies saw the Gateway as a strategic investment in Southeast Asia. While their involvement brought significant funding and expertise, it also fueled concerns about Malaysia's over-reliance on foreign capital. Critics argued that such dependence could jeopardize Malaysia's sovereignty and long-term economic stability. The project's failure also highlighted deeper issues in Malaysia's infrastructure planning. A lack of transparency and public engagement eroded trust in the project. Local communities, many of whom were directly affected by the development, felt excluded from the decision-making process. This disconnect between developers and stakeholders contributed to widespread skepticism about the gateway's feasibility and benefits. Despite its shortcomings, efforts to salvage parts of the Melaka Gateway have not completely ceased. The deep-sea port, originally envisioned as a cornerstone of Malaysia's regional trade ambitions, has drawn particular attention. Advocates argue that, if completed, the port could still position Malaysia as a key maritime hub in Southeast Asia, competing with neighboring nations for a share of the bustling trade along the Strait of Malacca. However, this vision is far from straightforward. As of now, construction on the deep-sea port has not fully resumed. Various proposals have emerged, including seeking new investors or forming partnerships with private firms to revive this vital component of the project. Yet these plans face significant obstacles. For one, the shadow of the project's initial failure looms large, making potential backers wary of committing funds. Secondly, regulatory approvals and logistical planning would need to be revisited, a process that could take years to finalize. Beyond the port, some stakeholders have suggested repurposing the incomplete islands for less ambitious developments. Ideas range from creating ecotourism hubs to establishing smaller-scale residential and commercial zones. While these plans might sidestep the complexity of completing the entire project, they raise their own set of challenges, particularly in addressing the environmental damage already caused by land reclamation. Before we dive deeper into the fascinating story of the Melaka Gateway, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. We bring you stories of ambitious megaprojects, engineering marvels, and lessons learned from grand failures. By subscribing, you won't miss a single update on the most intriguing builds from around the world. Let's get back to the story. The story of the Melaka Gateway is a cautionary tale for future megaprojects. One key lesson is the importance of sustainability. The environmental damage caused by the gateway could have been mitigated with better planning and stricter safeguards. Developers must strike a balance between economic ambitions and ecological responsibility, particularly in regions with fragile ecosystems. Another lesson is the need for adaptability. The rigid execution plan for the gateway left little room for addressing unforeseen challenges, whether political, economic, or environmental. Future projects must be aligned with flexibility in mind, allowing for adjustments as circumstances evolve. Transparency and community engagement are equally critical. The lack of clear communication with local residents and stakeholders undermined the gateway's credibility. Moving forward, developers must prioritize inclusivity, ensuring that affected communities have a voice in decisions that impact their lives. Perhaps the most significant lesson is the need for realistic expectations. The Melaka Gateway was built as a transformative project, a vision of Malaysia's future as a global economic powerhouse. Yet its failure to highlight the complexities of turning such bold visions into reality. From environmental concerns to political instability and financial mismanagement, the challenges faced by the gateway are a sobering reminder of the risks involved in megaprojects. Today, the unfinished islands stand as a testament to both the promise and peril of economic ambition. For Malaysia, the gateway represents a missed opportunity, a chance to redefine its place in the world that fell victim to mismanagement and overreach. But even in its failure, it offers valuable lessons for the future, inspiring those who dare to dream big. while reminding them of the importance of grounding those dreams in reality. So what's next for Malaysia's megaproject ambitions? While the Gateway may never achieve its original vision, its legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of thoughtful planning, responsible development, and inclusive decision-making. For now, the Melaka Gateway stands as a cautionary tale, a story of what happens when ambition outpaces execution. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the world's most ambitious projects. See you next time.